This is an update on Bishop T.D. Jakes' lawsuit in Tayahoches. Y'all guys would remember that I mentioned that if there's any update I might have to do, I will definitely do it as soon as possible. And I wanted to do the previous one, I think, on the 19th, so that when the 21st comes up, I'll be able to speak about other particular matters. Well, little did I know there will be a lot more, and it was not even coming from the 21st. Okay, so remember, I mentioned last time that Duane Youngblood is the man that Bishop T.D. Jakes is suing, because when Duane Youngblood came out, who has a ministry, his lawyer filed for a compensation of whatever traumas he said he had suffered, and so that created a bit of bias against him to say, is this just a cash grab or something like that? Now, last time when this entire thing started, or when I did an update, I explained that Duane Youngblood had actually filed an interjection complaint, separate complaint, concerning Bishop T.D. Jakes' son sending him threats, and he showed a file, a thing in the police report that he had done, and you could see a bit of a statement. If you watch the previous video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, little did I know, T.D. Jakes' lawyers would not just think it, but they would actually go back mafia style and just say, oh yeah, we did that. Are you asking why? Why is that important? It's because I don't know what they were trying to prove when they were actually even acknowledging this whole thing. And they could have just kind of like looked it over. But for them to have even admitted, okay, for them to have admitted to this particular thing, I think it's just wild. Especially looking at the fact of what exactly. I just want to see if I can find it. Especially looking at the fact of what exactly is in that, in the message. What exactly had he sent? What had Jermaine sent to Duane? When you see that, you realize there is a mafia that runs around certain people. A lot of people have gotten used to the mafia to a point where they don't even think twice. So let me show you this entire thing. And next time you hear someone saying that they were threatened by a pastor, you might consider this one here. Okay, so let me put it up. Document 30 number 37, 30 number 7. What's my problem? 37 here, you will see. It was filed on the 14th, Valentine's. It was filed on the 14th, and you can see 2 days after filing the instant motion, Duane Youngblood's attorney, Blackburn, that's the name of the lawyer, appeared, okay, at the show to boast about his motion, an attack against Bishop T.D. Jakes, and so you can see this here is actually they're making this almost as an update, because that particular interview, I remember seeing it, I just never spoke about it. But not before they're providing Larry Reid with a draft version of Duane Youngblood's anti-SLAPP lawsuit. Now, by the way, this anti-SLAPP lawsuit motion that he was doing, apparently within this particular region where he filed this, this law was actually just enacted, I think about last year or something like that. It was there in other regions, but in the particular region where they are, last year it was kind of like affirmed, stamped down, and so that's what makes it such a big deal for them to be adding it here, is to avoid people stifling down information, so that so big corporations, people with money and whatnot, rich people trying to control the court system with money, so by silencing people. So that's what that is all about, which Larry Reid broadcast And then they state when exactly that was. They said, Youngblood falsely attacked Bishop T.D. Jake's son with a made-up litigation claim. Okay. Then they said on November 2024, before Youngblood's second appearance on Larry Reid's show, Bishop Jake's son Jermaine sent a message to Youngblood. Okay, I don't know if you can see that part here. I need to make sure that you are seeing this part. Okay, listen to the admission here. Let's scroll up a little bit so that you can see it. This is in their court filing. Okay, this is not me. I didn't edit this. This is what they said themselves. Okay, they said it. They said this themselves. In the message to Jermaine. Let's start it again. Bishop Jake's son Jermaine sent a message to Youngblood after seeing an ad on social media on the Larry Reid Show appearance. Jermaine sent a message to warn Youngblood about getting involved with Larry Reid, who Jermaine knew to be a destructive person. So that's what the case is. So they're acknowledging the message. They're acknowledging the message that Bishop T.D. Jake's son sent to Youngblood. I'm going to show you that message just in a second. You'll see why they even acknowledge. They said Youngblood responded to Jermaine's message by saying that the concern was noted, which Youngblood omitted in his filing in this case. Okay, and 2 days after Bishop Jakes filed this lawsuit, Youngblood then filed a complaint. They go on with the police report. So they acknowledge the police report as well against Jermaine. And Youngblood admitted to in the undertaking or to the officer that his attorney wanted the complaint on file. And so my point of actually even bringing this thing up right now is that they are acknowledging a threat. Okay? I want you to understand what is it that they do. Okay? I want you to understand what they have just admitted to. You can actually see what the message actually even said right here. If you scroll up, you'll see that the message around that November period, there it was, from Jermaine Jackson. Jermaine Jakes, my bad. From November, it says, "You might be in dangerous territory, duane. Just be careful." And so, when he is speaking about thingy, that's the message that they sent. You might be in dangerous territory and thingy, and then they go to acknowledge that in the paperwork. The reason why I'm saying it's quite fascinates me that they acknowledge this is because this goes to show you, if someone says I was threatened by a pastor, your first course of action should not be to dismiss it. Should not be to dismiss it, because you can see what happens here. They are even putting it in the law, in their paperwork to say, no, that happened. That did happen. Because these people they exceed the power, or they abuse the position of power that God has given them, or where God has placed them, and they go to this extent. I thought it was quite a thing, but also, with people, when people rise to prominence or to positions of power, they tend to do things that you would ask yourself. You'll remember Sarah had a situation some time ago. if you guys remember that situation. Is it Sarah? No, Cora, my bad. Cora, or however you say that name. This was in 2023, my bad. Yeah, Cora Jades had a situation. She had a situation, and this just shows you what I'm talking about. What I mean here with this story. You'll remember that when this story came out right here, after the husband got and then she tried to get adoption, but then she took the child from the mother, and the mother was no longer even having access to her child. It was a whole story. This was in 2023. And so you will notice a trend here. You'll notice a trend. So Cora had a situation that she could not deal with. Well, she was not able to give birth, right? And so she took a child, and the lady came up. She talked about the story. She said it was very manipulative in how it was done to make her feel like she could not take care of her own child, right? And then before you knew it, she was no longer given access to that child, right? Now in the situation here, when power meets money, and one does not build discipline over it. And so Cora, you see how she dealt with that situation of the child. Now here you have a situation with the son, T.D. Jake's son. Now he goes to say, hey man, to send a threat when someone is speaking about his father, to go and send a threat. Why? Because power, when power meets money, and the person has not had to balance both of these things. It's becoming very common with the Jakeses. There's so many coverage of their legal wars and all the things that they've been involved in, all the up and downs, the paperwork, that's all that kind of stuff. I saw some other paperwork concerning Cora, which I'm not talking about here, particularly when after the whole thing, when the husband got arrested and stuff for being a dodgy man. You'll see a trend here. Even with Sarah herself, there was almost the same thing. This thing that they always seem to exceed the limits of their power. They tend to use their power and authority or being known to take advantage of things. There are certain areas where court cases get dismissed. It was said particularly about Jakes in certain with cases that were filed within his jurisdiction. Next time someone says, you know what, I'm having this type of a situation, and a pastor, think twice. They are acknowledging it in the paperwork. So you had the situation with the daughter. She took someone's child, and by not going through the right rights of adoption, she had other legal issues with her husband and whatnot and all that kind of jazz. Sarah also had her own issues. Now we have the father here in his own legal issues, claiming that he is having a heart attack, claiming to be having a heart attack so that he can justify this lawsuit. Now the son, everyone in the family, now the son is there busy threatening people on social media, and their paperwork even acknowledges it. When you hear these things being said about things, do think twice. You might say it about your man of God. Do think twice before you start defending and whatnot, because some of these people do not act as you think. It's the Reality Show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes down today, they'll be down in the pinned comments, and y'all tell me your thoughts, and I'll see you over there.